Gorgeous girl.
She's trying to get in.
Hey, I really love the way I mean, the texture of it. Oh.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens, guests. My name is Kelvin Franklin. My family and I reside at 133 Thompson Avenue, Maitland, Florida. I'm here as one of the ambassadors representing the Eatonville Chamber of Commerce. Under the community engagement, the Mayor's Business Development Academy is aimed at empowering local businesses and preparing them for participation in Eatonville's infrastructure and economic revitalization projects. Over the next 8 weeks, Eatonville small business owners will engage in a rigorous training program designed to build their technical knowledge, business acumen, and readiness to compete effectively in the regional marketplace. The Eatonville Chamber is excited to partner and be a part of this valuable training opportunity for our community. Thank you, Mayor. And the turnout was very well attended. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Angela Johnson.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, fellow residents. I and I apologize, I did not have time to read through all the details of the documents for tonight. It's my understanding that the grant funds for the community room have to be spent by January 2026. So if you can clarify that, if I'm making a misstatement, if that is the correct statement, what is the time frame for the community engagement, for the design, for construction, and what would be any penalties, if any, if that time frame is not met regarding that construction specifically for there? And then I also wanted to I'll address it, and hopefully there'll be no retaliation in my neighborhood. There was a shooting right outside my home yesterday. And we have some ring cameras that none of them recorded anything. And I mean, I hear the conversations and people's concern about cameras recording and people's rights. However, there's a right for safety as well. So I know we're talking about the cameras in the school zones, but we may want to address cameras throughout our communities, especially if we're going to have these types of experiences. And of course, I am a data person. I love hearing the statement that we have the lowest crime rate, but I will also say that crime rate per capita. And I'm assuming that statement is made based upon us having the lowest crime rate per capita in this area. So Councilman Vice Mayor Washington, I know we're talking specifically about the school zone area, but you are probably well aware of the number of cars that come through the community that are bypassing even on the right-hand side when residents are trying to turn into Catalina Park, creating a safety hazard. We know that individuals, even with those flashing lights, they are still going through those walk zones. So whatever we can do to have a safe, walkable community, let's try to put that before the concerns of how many tickets are going to be given out between the 2 hours that it may not be a school, when school is not in. I think that should be the thing that we consider most, and I will get up and make some additional comments when that first reading, when we have that opportunity. But what are the dates for the budget meetings? I did not see those advertised anywhere. If we can mention those. And I attended 2 events at the Den Johnson Community Center over the last 2 to 3 weeks. I'm just going to say that it is embarrassing that our community center does not have air conditioning. So whatever we can do to address that issue would be I'm quite sure appreciate it.
Okay, we have, Brian, not Novik.
Speak now or on the item?
Are you suing for the school zone?
Oh, yeah.
That'll be open.
You want the vote? But you got extra, no?
Yeah, he said speed enforcement, but I wasn't sure if it was for the school zone.
Is it for the, like, is it for the ordinance?
Good evening, Mayor, council members, members of the community. I'll use this time to address quasi what I'll address when it comes time. So traffic control devices do not deter. They do not help public safety. They have nothing to do with public safety. In fact, studies have shown that they are more about revenue generation than public safety. So when it comes to red light cameras, I'll address that for a moment. Throughout Orange County, the installation of red light cameras has seen an increase of 10% in rear end collisions. The net reduction in pedestrian fatalities in 2024, 0. 10% increase in rear end collisions, no deterrent of fatalities to pedestrians. It is about revenue. Winter Park alone, our neighbors in 2024 collected $4 million in red light camera violations, of which they kept roughly 60% because they needed to pay the companies that want to generate the money. These traffic control devices have nothing to do with safety. They are about generating money.
And we have, this is our last one, Joyce Harvey. Died.
Thanks. It sounds like it's really for both. Good evening, everyone. You know, I always have some things to say, but this is actually gonna be nice today. I want to thank the mayor, first of all, for hearing me say something enough times to ask to talk about it, you know, one-on-one. And we had a great conversation about historic preservation. There's some things coming up that are unavailable, that there were some issues involved, but I just asked her to, I have to quote my cousin, well, it's okay if there's something over here and something over there, but if there's something right here for the town, you gotta look at what's good for the town. That's an oversimplification, but he did go out and do a lot of research to see how it would be good for us. So thank you for the conversation. And I know he will continue, but I feel very hopeful about it. I want to thank every person on the council, every person in the administration who deals with crazy stuff all the time, and especially our officers who I see get cursed out and call names and stuff like that. I don't like you. You don't have a uniform on. I'm like, that's stuff with you. Boy, it's too much. Thank you. And I'd like to thank the citizens that show up, and Ms. Johnson, numbers lady, you are so appreciated always for just the way you dig into stuff. And it just, you know, I like just hearing you because it makes me aware of so many things I'm not aware of. And to know back, I don't know if you ever got the pickleball, but if not, okay, good. But I just wanted to say it's an honor to be a part of this community. We have an incredible history. I'm glad we came back to try to do some things, and I'm just grateful. And I'm ending it on a good note.
And there is another one that has been added. Which is participation.
Within the time.
Yes. Ruby Crit.
You know that.
Something was brought to my memory to trigger me to want to say something tonight. Ruby Creighton, Ruby Street, council, residents, friends and family. The historic conversation keeps coming up, and I wouldn't be a community advocate if I didn't encourage the council as well as the residents and community personnel to attend the Let's Talk Eatonville sessions that are happening every month on the second Saturday from 10:30 to 12. I know by the time you all meet again, I was gonna wait, but I know by the time you all meet again, the month of June's meeting will have passed. From personal experience, it has been quite the topic the last month or so. And I feel like there's a time and place for everything. And so if preservation is important, and it should be in a historic town, then we need to be active. So I'm encouraging and exhorting all of you to let your neighbors know. Second Saturdays, 10:30 to 12 at the library. Let's talk Eatonville. Let's talk about those significant properties, those sentimental properties, the things in this town that we want to see, the old Eatonville feel that we want, but the 2025 feel on the inside. Just tell everybody, bring a friend. They usually have donuts and coffee. Come on. Why not?
10:30, so that's June 14th.
Yes, 10:30 to noon at the library. It's free.
It's for,
That's it.
That is it, yes.
All right, thank you, everyone. For the public hearing, the approval of the first reading of ordinance number 2025-4 for school zone speed enforcement within the town of Eatonville.
Yes, ordinance number 2025-4, ordinance of the town of Eatonville, Florida, amending chapter 38 of the town code to create article 8, school zone speeding enforcement, providing for a purpose, intent, and definitions, establishing a school zone speed enforcement program, and authorizing the use of speed detection systems within the town, providing for program, administrative, and enforcement procedures, providing for the creation of a school crossing guard recruitment and retention program, providing for a 30-day public awareness campaign prior to enforcement, and providing for codification, conflict, severability, and an effective date.
Chief, you want to?
I just wanted to reiterate the opportunity to be here, and I thank you for our reviewing of this. I believe it's still going to be a necessary item we have here. I understand everybody's concerns on some of the things brought forth. I would also say rear accidents are not necessarily due to an electronic device, it's due to someone not paying attention. Regardless of whatever it may be, stop sign, stop light, etc. If you were in someone, it's because you're not looking forward in the time manner to hit your brake. I'm prepared to still move forward. As I said, we'll review with a couple more companies. Come back again to get you guys, council's blessing on that. And from there, we will continue forward with the informational and then setting up from there how we want to proceed. But I'm grateful.
Thank you. This item is now open to the public for comment. If you would like to speak to this item, please go to the lectern, state your name, and let us hear.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, members of the community. So I spoke out against this last year, and let me just iterate again. I am very much against speed control devices on Kennedy Avenue during school zone hours. The company that we had in here to do the presentation said themselves, the very moment the cameras stop generating revenue, they uninstall the cameras. Tell me how now that is about public safety. Tell me how that is in the interest of the community for safety. If the very moment that money stops, so does the free camera. What I would implore you is to look at it from a different angle, look at it more thoughtfully, in a different way, such that, example, in Orange County, look at Orange Blossom Trail, right around, I think 39th Avenue between there and Holden. They put in the large, long speed humps. The fatalities that have happened in that area have dropped 80%. The speed infractions that have happened in that area have dropped 70%. This is an ongoing deterrent to speeding as well as an improvement to public safety. These types of items carry over outside of the 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. window that you're trying to catch someone potentially speeding in a reduced speed zone. By taking these measures, you now actually look at public safety 24 hours a day. Doing a proper assessment, a proper survey and study of your intersections and your crossings to determine what is the best approach is the best approach. And in my opinion, that is not digital devices that are trying to, again, take money until they can no longer do it. So I implore you, look at other areas throughout Orange County. Example, the large speed bumps, you can put them at every crosswalk so that everyone through Kennedy Avenue must slow down lest they potentially damage their vehicles. And I assure you, the stats already show that this improves public safety. This is an actual deterrent to what you're trying to accomplish, which is our children. Everyone has to slow down at these speed humps so our children are safe. Members of the communities are safe. Also, you should probably light them up a little bit more because those crossing areas at nighttime are a little bit more challenging to see. Again, improving public lighting increases public safety, not traffic control devices. I'm gonna go off on a tangent for a moment. Putting cameras up, I have no problem with because that, of course, does help with crime in general when it's on all the time. But to, again, try to just take money for the sake of taking money and not actually looking at the surveys for public safety, I'm vehemently against. Thank you.
I'm a parent of children that go to Hungerford, and even though my children are in the preschool program and they don't walk or drive, some days my father walks to the school from Eaton Street to College and Ruffle to pick up my kids. And he does not drive. He will come get the double stroller and he will walk down there. They've seen him, y'all have probably seen him. I won't pretend that I know very much about law enforcement. I won't pretend I know very much about the stats or the electronics. What I will say is a lot of things can help. I heard Chief speak earlier about his level of discomfort with the manpower that we have that could potentially mitigate some of Mr. Novak's claims about public safety. I do feel like I would rather have an Eatonville officer there. But I'll take what help we can get because the day that an Eatonville officer isn't there might be the day that Esaias is crossing the street and potentially is, hurt. So I'm in favor of whatever will help. I won't pretend like I am TikTok University and I can tell you how to do it, but if it helps for a good time or a long time and it is of no significant cost to the community, I'm for it. And if we take that time to think about other ways, or if we take that time to increase our budget, get more officers down the line, to invest in more reserve officers, I'm all for that too. But my kids go there now. And I can tell you, maybe 3 years ago, I might not have gotten up here to say anything, but because my kids go there now, it makes a difference now. And I walk a lot of places in this community. I mean, it's 2 blocks to the main road from just about every direction. So again, whether it's the west side where the children are coming under the overpass, or whether it's on College and you're coming off a Lime or Lemon or Orange and you're walking down College, I would definitely encourage that we find something to help. And then I would also like to add that earlier I heard about there not being any signage on College. I've noticed that as well. I can't even tell you if I've noticed an actual speed limit sign on College, let alone the school's own signs. I know that Kennedy is that main corridor, so of course that's where you would have them. But since the school is tucked off into the neighborhood, it would be nice to see some deterrence on College as well, and maybe even on Ruffle coming westbound from West Street to the school. Thank you.
Thank you.
I too am going to say that I am in favor of the town implementing a program, cameras, whatever, that will serve as an opportunity to deter and to reduce the speed along Kennedy. I tend to walk during that time when kids are coming to school, and they're not stopping. They're not stopping for the children. And most of these, I'm going to agree. I mean, we're a transient piece of street, throughway, exactly. So, so I don't know, and Chief, I'm sorry, I know during the workshop, you may have made statements, My question to address one of the comments that Mr. Novak, that Ryan mentioned was that the cameras will be uninstalled. Can you address that? Will cameras be uninstalled after a certain period of time? After some window of time? If not, maybe that would be some clarity. And that could have been one vendor's description of what was gonna happen, but if you can give some clarity and respect for that. And then I just, I'm for it. I appreciate the comments that were made on the news media today with parents that they're truly concerned about the safety of their children. I too understand the islands on OBT. However, I'm gonna tell you, they're not high enough to actually stop cars from speeding. They may have, but they're not high enough to stop them. Whatever we can do and to mitigate the risk of injury to the children that are walking to school. And then I'm gonna say, if it generates revenue for the historic town of Eatonville, the historic town of Eatonville needs revenue. Everywhere you go, if you get a ticket, there is money that comes back to the municipality to help cover operating costs. So if a portion of those funds come back and they are properly used in this community, in our general budget or with police force, then I think that that is also nothing that we should be really standing up here saying that we're against. So the signage, yes, and not just the signage for this particular project in general. I would implore Public Works and administration to look at all of our signage throughout the community, whether or not it's welcome to the community, whether or not it's, we love our community. All of our signage needs to be addressed so that that is clear and visible. But specifically for this particular ordinance, I truly agree that we should move forward with it, and hopefully we'll be able to have more residents come, especially those that are parents, to speak in favor of this for the second reading. Thank you.
Just to address Ms. Johnson's, question, at this point, because we're not going to necessarily have a locked-in company.
One moment, Chief. Are there any other speakers?
No, and none have come up, so,
Okay, and I haven't closed
yeah.
Yes.
public speaking yet. Are there any other speakers before we close?
Good evening. This is actually my first council meeting. I've lived really close to Eatonville.
State your name.
My name is Bradley McWithy. I'm the owner of the Drain Daddy of Orlando. We're a local plumbing company. My family has owned a house in Lockhart since I was about 2 years old that I bought last year. I recently moved my office, my business to the Eatonville area, right at the Kennedy Commerce Plaza. I apologize, I am a little nervous. It's actually really enlightening being in this room because when you first started speaking of cameras that would enforce speed or send tickets during school times, I thought, hey, if the gentleman's understaffed, it could be a really good way to generate revenue, and maybe people even just seeing those cameras and having the flashing lights would act as a deterrent. But they're not going to make you hit the brakes. Having speed tables, things like that, other deterrents that are going to force people to hit the brakes, maybe something that you. Okay, well, my name's not. Those things be ran in tandem, right? Generating additional revenue for the town of Eatonville, probably not a bad idea. Flashing lights and crosswalks, should be standard, right? Speed tables and things that don't necessarily become digitally invasive in people's lives. I understand that those things can be easily manipulated and used for nefarious purposes. Not saying that would be the case, but it is something that opens you up for that potential liability. A speed table will not. You can't get around a speed table. You're not going to drive up on the sidewalk. The curb is bigger than a speed table. So more than likely, 90% of people are probably going to hit the brakes. But if they see that camera there and there's nobody around to hold them accountable, they're willing to risk it. Is the camera even on? Did they catch my license plate? Unless it's a blue and red lights behind them, there's a lot more possibility if there's nothing there that's going to block that car from speeding, they're going to be more likely to speed, right? I think that it's a little discouraging and disheartening to know that there are tree branches blocking the school zone signs and that those school zone signs can't be read accurately. And if you're understaffed, whether it's crossing guards, or people to walk kids to and from school. I think that there's enough people in this community and in this room that would be willing to step up and help. It's just asking them questions. It's not about having a budgetary meeting or how do we afford this, or if the sign's dirty, I'll go wash it tomorrow. If there's some tree branches, we don't need to set people out there with a crane truck to come out the branches and grab some pruning shears. I mean, I don't know if that's okay to do, but you know, a couple gallons of paint can make crosswalk yellow, right? Until you guys put together whatever votes you need to do it accurately within the same guidelines and this wide and this reflective and all that. I'm from an old school mentality. If there's a tree down in my neighbor's yard, I'm gonna get the chainsaw in my shed and go help them out. You know, so if there's any opportunity that I can step up and help or be on call for crossing guards, so you guys can feel real 911 emergencies without putting the youth in this community at risk, I would love to step up and help. Not that I can do it all the time, but if there's availability there, I'm ready for it.
Thank you.
Got a card for you.
That's funny. I was telling Ruthie, oh,
Who are you?
Joyce. And I'm telling Ruthie, I said, by the time you get up tomorrow, I'm gonna go get my Home Depot paint, gallons of white paint in the street. Oh my, negative, it's gonna be like, damn. So we have sort of the same idea. I wanted to mention one other thing. I do appreciate, I call them speed bumps, but the things that you need to go over, since I live behind Family Dollar. And it's like, why is it after 8 o'clock at night? They're having a race. They're going 70 miles an hour for 2 blocks. They got to slam on the brakes when they get to Kennedy. And every broken down person in Eatonville, either on, I mean, much older people are going up and down. Okay, I didn't say it. No, I didn't say it the right way. A lot of people who are much disabled and much older and going very slow up and down the street, up and down Gabriel, get Family Dollar. It's like, I'm continuously running out of the house when I hear the engine rev up 5 blocks away. I'll be checking my cameras if there's anybody outside, and I'll go outside to make sure, because it's like, "Ah." So we used to have a speed bump, so possibly in the future, that just might be something I'd like to revisit, and I like the idea of it. But I do want cameras and revenue, because we need the money. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to the subject?
Just quickly. Would it be possible to do a speed survey? Where you could determine the areas of the community that deal with the most amount of speeding, what times of day or night that happens, so you could really effectively put speed bumps in the areas. I know that in my neighborhood, we had a problem with speeding recently. I was able to call up Orange County, and they came out and laid a rubber strip across the road and put a little battery on one side, and they did a survey for 30 days. And they're gonna be putting speed bumps in the neighborhood because they've noticed that there is a high number of speeding after 8 PM at night. And it wouldn't just be a phone call. They literally came out and set this thing, and they can determine the speed of cars. That may be a viable option for you guys to determine where those speed bumps would be most effective.
All right, is there anyone else?
Now rebut.
But he did.
Mayor, council, community. So, sorry. If it's about the money, just say it's about the money, guys, and if that's what it is, don't do it under the guise of public safety, please. I mean, that's just disrespectful. But to that, Ms. Joyce, the speed bumps being gone are primarily my fault, but my request was the humps, because those bumps were mountainous and damaging vehicles.
Okay.
So we absolutely need public safety in the form of these larger humps throughout Eatonville, throughout areas, the side streets where people are speeding. And again, cameras don't necessarily deter. These better surveyed humps will go a longer way to safety. Thank you.
All right, the public comment section is now closed. Are there any comments from Chief? You wanted to say something earlier?
I think enough's been said tonight.
On a couple of things, because it was, this hearing is only for the school zones. So it went before the whole town, although definitely understood your comment. When this was first done, we did have a study that was done, and it did count the number of vehicles and the average speeds and all of that. So about a year old now. So obviously it would need to be updated. My other thing is that when we talk about safety, it is okay to have multi-levels. So we have, I know Chief and I were writing, and we talked about volunteers to cover those down times when someone is out. We know about the traffic calmers. But if putting these speed zone cameras will help change behavior. You know, they say if you do something for 27 days, you change your mindset. And if it means that they'll change their mindset and they'll start seeing our strip of town just as they would their own, then perhaps it's worth trying. And then once we've tried, we get data, we analyze it, then we could say, hey, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I don't think it's going to be a big money maker. But if it is going to be there, and if hitting someone's pockets is what it's going to make a difference, then that's where the money to me comes in. So, is there anyone else that would like to say anything?
Yeah, my main thing is, as long as it's not operating, because doing schools on hours, I support it. Outside school zone areas, I don't support this camera being on 24 hours. That's all I have to say about it.
And I would just like to concur with Chief, what he stated, kind of piggybacking on what he said. I think the safety of our citizens, especially our kids, particularly in the school zone, is very important. There's nothing more valuable than our kids in this community. So I commend you for implementing this particular item. I think it's very necessary, and I do appreciate all the other citizens that had their say and their opinion. I definitely do that. So there's no discredit to you guys at all. But I do concur with Chief on what he's implementing, especially from the status of him being the chief of police and being in law enforcement for like 40 years, I'm assuming. And he's doing a terrific job, and I know he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that we're moving forward with making sure that this community is safe at all times. And I think this particular component that we're adding is going to add value, actually. And I know we're not doing it in the sense of just the revenue part, but it does help because we don't get a whole lot of revenue within the town besides other things that I'm not going to speak on. But I do have a great appreciation for what you're doing as a chief and all your officers as well. And I know how tough you guys' job is. It's the toughest job in the world. You know what I'm saying? You guys risk your life on a daily basis. But there's nothing more valuable than our kids, especially during school time, within the hours of being in school. So I'm definitely for having the system set up to where we're protecting our kids during the hours of going to school and coming from school. So I'm definitely for that.
Councilman Henry.
Vice Mayor said something. Are we able to extend it to the whole Kennedy? I'm just asking. I know he's saying certain hours.
That's
maybe a
not,
certain spot.
that's not my design. That's not what we're designing for, no, sir.
Just a
It's
question.
designed the way it's titled, school zone. So it's school times, that's the way it's designed.
If you're needing help on some of your officers, it would be good to have a 24-hour speed deterrent, but
Right.
that's, we're talking about.
That's separate setup.
All right.
Right. You do that, then you take away the title, school zone.
All right, we've heard the preamble read. Is there a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance number 2025-4? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Being there are none, then the first reading has been passed. The next item is the consent agenda for the town meetings from 5/20/25, as well as the architectural and engineering design services. Is there a motion?
Second.
If-
With the proper, if I have to do a disclosure.
Oh. All right, so do I change that in my motion? All right, so it's been moved and seconded.
You gotta announce it. You have to announce it,
Could you tell me how do we do that?
So if he's recusing himself, we'll just announce the conflict, announce that he is recusing himself, then the rest of you can vote on.
Not sounding necessary.
Yeah.
For this.
Okay, you're not supposed to say. All right, so all others, those in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, consent agenda has been approved. We're now ready for reports. Mr. Press.
Thank you, Mayor, council and the citizens. A couple of updates, just to remind you of, and I'll let some of, Mary can talk about some of the master plan. The fourth master plan workshop is coming up on June 11th. This will have a draft of what's been projected from the community in that meeting on what we'd like to see for that. So I met with Barrios and several community members along with our planner Tara and a few staff members, and we've looked at what's potentially coming. So I think it's really important that the community come out and continue to voice their opinions on what they would like to see for the master plan for the town of Eatonville. That's on June 11th, and that's going to be at Lies Hall at the Macedonia Church. Also, the mayor's state of the town for 2025 is on this upcoming Thursday. The mayor will be presenting that for your hearing on those few items. We are working on, Chief may have stepped out on the 14th. We also have the hurricane preparedness expo that's going to be taking place at the Boys and Girls Club. And that's going to be a time where there'll be vendors that will talk about the different measures and discuss some of the things that are taking place with preparing for the hurricane and how that impacts you in Eatonville. So our police department, along with our public works department, will be hosting that event. That's on the 14th at the Boys and Girls Club. Flyers and information will be coming out for that. Into some of the items, just for reminders, with the current approval of the first reading, there's several things that we have to do. I'll give a chief on that. Two reminders: we do have the Safe Routes to Schools project that's also happening that will bring in several of those rapid rectangular flashing beacons that will be placed along Kennedy. One will be at that particular corner of Kennedy and College. So that's all that's in the works now, and I think we're in the final stages of getting the necessary right of way to make that happen. But that's one thing that will take place there. In regards to some of the right of way improvements, I'll work along with staff to finalize those items. The survey, we recently, when we started on the speed hump analysis, we did do a small survey then, but that was only to assess what was there. We can bring the company back to look at the overall assessment and come up with where those zones are and work with probably county. I'll get with chief on that as well. A few other items. Again, congratulations to the town of Eatonville on another 8.3 million that is now helping with our stormwater mitigation. And so Wendy and our team did a great job of that. We're excited to see where it takes us from there. The question that came up, and Ms. Valor's back as well, in regards to the DOJ project for the community room, the time frame. There was an extension that was given, so we do have a little more time. It's not much more, but we do have until March 2026. That does give us a little extended time, but also scope time frame for the completion of the design and also the construction phase is something that was asked, and we can get some further details from Ms. Johnson on it, but I wanted to make sure we brought that up.
Excuse me. Thank you. Cormier Group knows that they've got to get this done rapidly. They've already been putting in the work. We're hoping to get the design done by late July in order to put it out on the street and get rapid construction. So,
Right. So
we're working hard on getting it done by the end of the year and deal with those.
So once that final scope is given, we'll make it available for everyone to know, but that will include the charrettes and all of the other things in between to make sure, but that's good. But that was just a question that came up from one of our community members on that. And lastly, again, I'm a proud father. I just had a graduate this past week, so headed to Florida Atlantic University. So I'm looking forward to continuing to work with the town of Eatonville to make sure she can get a quality education. That's all right.
Okay.
Oh, Mayor, One thing, my finance director is looking at, the budget meetings are, the third week in July. We were just looking at some dates. I just need to confirm some things on the calendars for the council. With us having the audit done, we're in much better shape this year on making sure those projections are clear. And, Councilwoman, you did ask for, the updated fiscal, statement, and it's in your box. So if you want to pick it up on your way out, it's ready for you.
Okay.
But we will get those official dates out after we get through this week's with the state of the town and a few other items.
Did you have something?
I do. I just wanted to remind the public that we do have early voting that's gonna be starting June 14th and will go to June 22nd. That's Saturday to a Sunday. Eatonville is an early voting precinct and it's for District 15, which affects the town of Eatonville. So we're encouraging everyone to come out and vote. And also, if you see a new face around here, Marissa Bellinger, she is our new records coordinator. Very good for the town, have a heart for the town, have worked in the town. So we look forward to working with her and you have an opportunity to be her.
Thank you. I'm just gonna start off because I hardly do. Definitely condolences first to the Spencer family. They just buried a loved one this past weekend. Congratulations to the graduates. I have to add Brandon Simmons in there as well. I'm very proud of him. June 5th, please come out as hopefully looking forward to seeing everyone that can to the state of the town. We have such good things to report and update, so I'm looking forward to that. I have been asked to definitely make a announcement about the Life Cycle Club is this Saturday at 7:30. So those of you with the bicycle, the tires not flat. Congratulations to the town of Eatonville for the CDBG. Yes, an extension to that. When I first came on board, one of the things I knew that Catalina needed was more something that was more engineering detailed in order to stop that flooding or at least to mitigate it. And then Miss Monday comes along. So thank you. I appreciate all that you've done and that you continue to do for the town. Thank you, Miss Monday. That being said, and whole staff, Mr. Presley, Miss Gibson, everyone that helps with that and make Brittany, no more names, everybody. But thank you. With that being said, I pass it to Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Hope we find another area to, speak of Sam, hope we find another meeting for the, early voting area. Are we using Dick Johnson?
We will be using the Dick Johnson.
Because I was talking about Dick Johnson because the AC don't work. I was at an event there and it's like one of the citizens said, it is embarrassing that we still have this building up. Years ago, we should have been knocking this building down and had a new building. I don't see Winter Park put up new buildings. I don't see Maitland. I don't see Mascot, Haines City put up new buildings in no time. We need to use these funds we have to get these buildings up. It don't take long. It don't take a long time to get these buildings up. You see Winter Park, the whole city center down. It put library, outdoor entertainment, everything, amphitheater in that area. We are behind the 8 ball. We need to get up and get these buildings, not this building is bad. It's a bad building. Like I said, it should have been down 5 years ago. 5 years ago. And on the cameras, what's cheaper still here? I talk to you about the cameras in the neighborhoods that enter, exit neighborhoods that some communities have. I talk about those street, what Mr. Ryan Novak said about the street humps. Pine Hills Road, that's another road that has a lot of accidents. People get hit. So they fixed their pedestrian walkway better. Cross. You can't cross anywhere now. You cross like you do down the trail. And it does slow down traffic from I-4 to Holder. It slows it down. I've been on there. I'm like, wow. Didn't have the button you push the light go green. So red light, green light there. So I think it is a way we can deter this here. You know, most city does traffic control, and they don't care about outside. Maitland, around Lake Civilian, that road used to be wide. They narrowed it down. When you stop and call there, on way out, can go out of town. We have a community that we don't care. Let's not make our community friendly like that. Let's make our traffic, our streets controllable. People around about in their street, in their neighborhoods, they do that there. They do a whole bunch of things. Let's get creative and do some things. Let's get creative and do some things. And congratulations to all the graduates. Mr. Danes, I think you got last one at the household. I mean, but they're never out because mine's come back here and there. So, but it is a great thing when you graduate and get out there and get on your own, get out your pocket like mine's had. So that's a good thing. And my condolences to all the families that lost loved ones in months, days, and even tonight, probably soon we'll lose someone. So, just keep prayers up for families, and that's all I have to say.
Councilman.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, great observation and great ideas. Ryan Novak, the chief, Ms. Johnson, Ms. Crenton, Ms. Joyce. We can use all these ideas to help deter speeding and figuring out a way to make our city safer. We can implement all, and let's do it. Let's make it happen. Also, my condolences also to Ms. Spencer, the Spencer family of Flamo. Mr. Michael Fleming, it seems as though that Kellina Park community has been hit hard over the past couple of years. So my condolences go out to the families there. Also, if we can, talking with Chief, if we can, this young man had a great idea as well, getting people that want to help, that want to come and help fill in. Maybe we need to get the citizens' participation as far as helping out, being deputized, and maybe we can get out and help relieve some of this stress that Chief is having when he's saying with staff. We can get some citizens involved to show that we really care about our community. Where are we, Mr. Presley, on the moment of silence? I've always said how we can change that. I still love Pastor Creighton, how he used to come. It ain't necessarily got to be named prayer. I keep saying that. We can say words of encouragement.
Well, thank you for bringing it up. I just was at the county commissions today, and they're still doing it. So I did speak with the administrator of the process that they go through, where they are still doing invocation before their meetings.
Right.
And so I was talking with the clerk prior on that process, and I'll formally bring it back. I'm just waiting on the information from the county on the process that they use.
Okay.
It just has to be opened up to the entire Presbyterian options to be there along that side. So we'll see what that looks like. But if you would give me we'll do that in our next workshop to kind of give you a decision on how I'd like to proceed with that.
All right, great. And also, congrats to the graduates, Brandon Duke, my little one, Ray. And that journey has come, and it was so refreshing for my little girl to say she just was in tears to see Miss Foster, Miss Harris. She's gonna get mad at Miss Harris at the end when she hugged her teacher, the principal, Mr. Jackson, and then to get to the end and see where she started with elementary, Miss Harris being at the end. She said she just fell into arms. So I don't know if that's going to be something that we can implement since Hungerford is a feeder school to Edgewater. Maybe we can have that principal there. We also had, I gave the funds from councilman to help with the transition from, I don't know if everyone saw the picture of the kids, the small kids, and they go behind the door, and then the graduates come out. Thank Miss Brittany, my daughter, but she's gone. But my daughter loves this community so much that she wanted to do a photo shoot here and highlight where she was born and raised, where her father said, I want to raise my kids. Being from here, born and raised right here in this community, I felt it was the need that I raised them here to see the experience of the oldest Black municipality, to experience the people, the culture that we have. And I want to thank her for her steadfastness and her due diligence and graduating. And I'm glad she changed her mind from going to Southern. Now she's going to apply to FAM. And I will have another Rattler in the house. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for the ideas, and just keep coming, and we're going to be better. Have a great night.
Councilwoman.
All right, good evening, everyone. This is my report. A couple things that I have here tonight. Mr. Preston, what is the status on the swimming pool? I understand that pool is still closed.
I believe that it is open there. One of the motors went out on us but it was under warranty and it's already been replaced as of last Tuesday. But I believe that program is up and running now. So there was some dates that were just released for that. So I'll make sure you get a copy.
Was the pool open today?
I don't know if it was open today. I'll just have to I know they've submitted a schedule. I'll just confirm that with our recreation director.
Okay,
But, it's supposed to start.
Yeah, it's a flyer.
June
June 9th.
June 9th.
The pool does not officially open for the season until June 9th.
Okay.
Now, we do have the programs that'll be using it, but official for open swim is June 9th.
Okay. All right, we still have a couple residents that's in disagreement with their water bill. So I know we are resolving those issues as they come to point those things out.
Yes, I met with staff today and we went over with the commercial. I haven't received many residential, but I have received the commercial. And so we went over the extension of those that are left. And I just went over a plan with Ms. Gibson and Ms. Mundy on how to address that.
And if you look into Mr. Gary at Metro.
Yes, I left him a message today as well.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, next, parking. We still have a problem on Bethune with parking at Mrs. Kim's restaurant. If a fire truck were to come on that street, they would not be able to get through because we have parking on both sides. I think the chief is gone right now, but he was supposed to look into some issues to resolve that. Or either try to get one side parking on that street, because it's very tight. Even 3 vehicles trying to get through, it's just not working out well.
So I don't know what he's pulling on that, but I'll send a message over to get update.
All right, and it would be nice if we can have a street sweeper to come through the neighborhood, because there's still a lot of trash and leaves and things out on the street. So can you look into that, please? Also, some residents have been complaining about the potholes on Clark Street. Like here, if you could look into that, please. Now, I concur with Vice Mayor Washington about the Denton Johnson Center. I was there yesterday for a couple of hours, and it is in need of attention. Some soap and water would help with the floors, get the floors clean. If we can do something, I don't know how long it's gonna take us to get the Denton Johnson Center to be what it should be. But, you know, it's an opportunity for a good community investment as far as revenue. But we really need to get the place cleaned up. Those air conditions are not working, they weren't really kicking out. It was a little cool in there yesterday, but wasn't really cool. It was just enough for us to get by yesterday. So what is the problem with the air conditioning?
There was some mechanical issues there and they were waiting on the parts to come in. I'll get a status update and send a update from recreation tomorrow. But I believe the parts that came in and I believe they were fixing it. I just don't know if they completed it, so it's out, but I'll get an update. But duly noted on the attention to the Denton Johnson Center.
Do you know how long it would take for us to get to any renovations at the Denton Johnson Center?
I think it's more so if once we allocate some funds. I think in our capital improvement, we only did has a small investment because we were looking at some of the opportunities with the grants. But at this point, the majority of those grants that were dedicated to that have not come through at this point. So I'm just going to get with the facilities team and we'll look at just doing that assessment on it.
Okay, look to improve the condition of the floors. And throw some paint on the wall. Vice Mayor say knock it down. Okay, yes, I was looking forward to the mid-year budget because when it was brought up in January or February, you stated that we would have it in May. So May has passed. So it's always good to have a mid-year budget just to see where we are, where we need to go, because we still have, you know, those few months left before the end of the fiscal year. So, and what did you say about the budget? You say that it's gonna be when?
Workshops, July.
Yeah.
The early part in May was strategic planning. We did do one session, but we were still waiting on the audit. Now that we have the audit complete, now we can finish the strategic session and the budget workshops, which are normally July, August, but I'll get those dates confirmed.
Okay, I received a letter today from the Girls and Boys Club for donations of almost $9,000. Does that have anything to do with the Eatonville, our kids?
That's strictly the Boys and Girls Club.
Did you get them too?
No, I don't, they don't.
No?
That's all those, that's just something they're asking for donations. For the Boys and Girls Club, we have our programs that we're
Okay.
running, that's separately. So that's just something they're asking for.
Okay, I do have another issue that I'd like to bring up. What's the status on the historic preservation grant for $125,000?
Right. So I'd be more than happy to, we're working on a workshop meeting. I did just get some updated information from Ms. Tara tonight. If you recall on, last Thursday, I sent over an email to all the council from a response from Ms. Jess regarding status update on it. There were some, items in that grant that, our grant coordinator brought to our attention, that didn't quite meet the investment of what the town needed. The grant, while given, it was more so supporting outside vendors that would cover certain things. And when we came up with those ones that could work within the town, then we used those. And so, as I stated in there, some of the major infrastructure grants preceded that, and that's where our attention have been. But we have reached out recently to Ms. Jess and Ms. Tara has reached out to the team to set up a meeting to discuss how does that fit into it. One of the things we've had concerns is that even though they have been here, the work they've done has been more philosophical. So it has not been actually something that we can add to the master plan, which was the whole intent of extending the master plan to get the historic preservation for it. But some ideas are being prepared by Ms. Tara to kind of talk about how do we implement that and where does that fit in. One is the actual historic survey of the town,
Right.
which the last time I believe it was done, it was in the 1900s. 1997, somewhere in there was the last one that was officially done for the town. And so actually coming in, doing a new survey and confirming what actual buildings or structures are actually historic is what needs to be done now, which would give us information to add into the historic preservation part of the master plan. And so it's just a matter of identifying how does that move forward next.
Okay, I was just concerned also about the timeline. They had said that it was coming close. So if we're not gonna meet that timeline to apply for the grant, then where do we go from there? We just want to apply for it. Is that
We
correct?
want to apply for it, but also I've asked Ms. Tara along with the team to look at the assessment on where it really benefits based off what that grant has produced at this point. And so I think that's where we're trying to decide how do we move that forward.
Or is it possible that that particular grant, since it was submitted to the town, could be heard from the council so we can make a decision? So it's a decision made, the decision for the grant should be made at the council level and not.
The decision was made at the council level to pursue the grant. There was that, I'll have to go back to the date, but it was at that point. But the assessment of how that grant plays into the town's current system based off that level was just undefined.
Yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying with that, but can we bring that to the council? So those issues that you're bringing up, I'll be more than glad. I would like for you to entertain that to the council.
Absolutely.
So that way we'll be able, if you can have that ready for the next meeting, because that way we can make an effective analysis as to whether or not this is something we should do, it's not in the best interest of the town, or it is in the best interest of the town.
With all due respect, that is strictly administrative. I have no problem with you talking to Mr. Presley. Everyone can talk to Mr. Presley. They can go over all of that, but it is administrative.
No, I am talking to Mr. Presley. I'm asking.
But it is administrative.
Okay, it is
in
administrative
regards to
as an elected official.
and it's
It's an elected
administrative,
official.
and we know
I
you
am
don't cross
talking-
the line. And I know who you're talking to, but it is administrative.
No, Leon. Listen, I have the right as an
I- you
elected
are-
official
you
to
are
bring this,
You are
to
right,
bring this issue to the table.
but
I'm
not in a
asking-
way that you think is going to interfere with administration, and you know that.
That's not, it's nothing to do with what you're
So,
talking
but
about.
have your conversations all night.
Well, I am having a conversation, but you're
But you-
interrupting me while
No,
I'm
you know what I'm
talking.
saying, but thank you. I get it. Go ahead and finish.
Thank you very much. And just be respectful. We listen to you, so you should listen to us. We're not children.
Go ahead and finish.
Mr. President, if you could be so kind to bring that to the forefront so we can take a look at that, please. Or either, I've already looked at the grant, but I just don't know whether or not the other council members would know exactly what that involves. If we decide that we don't want to do it, then we just don't do it. You're just gonna justify to us the reason that we shouldn't do it. Okay, thank you. The last issue is, Councilman Matt. On every meeting, he always bring to the forefront if we had any lawsuits. Apparently, the last meeting, when I came home, and the next day, when I checked the website, we do have a lawsuit. So I don't know how that was bypassed by not knowing that we didn't have a lawsuit. I brought that issue to Mr. Shepherd. He didn't know anything about it. All right, and I did with correspondence later on, just to verify that this did take place. But my issue was not all about the lawsuit. It was about the notice was given here to the town of Eatonville on a Monday. And it wasn't until Thursday when all of this escalated about the workshop. So we did know about it. Mr. Shepherd explained to me exactly the process that happened. But I was just thinking that in all fairness, because he is our legal counsel, that anytime any lawsuit or any action is taken against the town, it doesn't matter whether or not he is the person of law or legal counsel, he should have been aware of it. He told me he was not aware of it until I contacted him about it. And I just happened to see it on the web the next day. So I just want to bring that to your attention.
Yeah, I've addressed that with HR, and we looked at the process of making sure the checks take place, but it was handled based off of the proper attorney, which is through our FMIT attorneys that would do with litigation because.
I'm not saying anyone did anything.
No, I agree. I just
saying
put it the checks and balances to
Yes.
make sure that our lead counsel is aware of it as well in any future areas of that.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I think that basically covers everything. All right, thank you all very much, and you have a nice evening.
Councilman Matt.
Hey, everybody, good evening, everyone, all the citizens, anybody that's watching, live. I would just like to thank you guys for just being engaged with town business. Thank you so much for just coming and being, a part of what we got going on. And of course, add your inputs on what your concerns are. I would also just like to give my condolences to anybody in the community, or anybody that has suffered, any losses in your family. I know a lot of people are dying at a rapid rate, so we gotta definitely continue to stay in prayer. I would like to also congratulate all the graduates, from the little ones all the way to the big ones. I had an opportunity, Council Daniel and I had kids that graduated together. And I would also like to, congratulate his daughter on the scholarship that she's received. And also my son, for the, opportunity to go to school. He earned himself a, full scholarship to Appalachian State, through academics and his athletic ability on the football field, being one of the top, safeties in the country. I definitely take my hats off to him for, all the achievements that he's, achieved so far. Also, I'm looking forward to the first 1887 farmers market that's gonna be taking place from 5 to 9 p.m. This coming weekend right here. Right, because they're having the voting over at Denton Johnson, so it'll still be here.
It's before it starts,
Okay,
so it won't impact it.
okay, great, awesome. So anybody that's looking to come out for the farmers market. We're gonna be here from 5 to 9. It's a great event. It's ran by Julian Johnson. He does a terrific job in what he does, being the creator of that tremendous idea that he came up with. So come out and enjoy that. And I'm also gonna be having my cleanup day, which is gonna be scheduled for June 14th. This is something that I do annually. So anybody that lives in the town of Eatonville, what we do is we have a venue as far as waste pro that would be actually having a dumpster on the west side and the east side, particularly in Catalina, and then we'll have it down here on the east side somewhere. I don't know exactly where we're gonna set up at, but you'll have an opportunity to dump anything that you have inside or outside of your home, as long as it's not hazardous materials like gas tanks, tires, and things of that such right there. And what I'm asking people to do before 6 a.m. is to have everything on the curbside. That way they can just, dispose of it, put it in the trash and keep moving. It shouldn't take that long for this cleanup. I think it's gonna start around by 8 a.m. that I have people come out. So anybody that want to volunteer to come out and kind of like manicure the community, clean it up. It doesn't take long at all. We're gonna have food, we're gonna have drinks, we're gonna have a live DJ, Willie C. He does a terrific job for me every year doing the cleanup. And it kind of like adds, some joy to the environment while we're doing what we do. So anybody that's interested in coming out, please come out. Also, I'm looking forward to the state of the town, which will be taking place on Thursday. So it's a mayor event. I'm definitely looking forward to everything that's gonna be involved in that. And it's gonna be taking place at the Orlando Regional Realtor Association, which is like around the corner here. So I advise anybody that wanna know exactly what's going on in this town and what's coming down the pipeline, please come out and be encouraged. Also the police center, I think we definitely need to have some engagement with the community in terms of the citizens that live in Catalina before moving forward with anything that would display us building anything down there in the capacity of the community police center. Because I know I've spoken with several residents and, you get mixed emotion about, people want to have it and some people don't want to have it. But I think we definitely need to have some engagement with that. And also with the first ordinance that we passed with the cameras going up for the crossing guard and for the kids down at Huntingford during the time we're gonna, I guess pass the second reading of it. We definitely need to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and making sure we're lining up with everything that we need to do to make sure that our kids are safe. And like I stated before, no discredit to anybody that is against it, but I think it's gonna be for the main purpose of keeping our community safe, especially our kids in particular. So, and I also know we're having Juneteenth, which starts on the 19th, which is a Thursday, and it goes through the 21st. If anybody knew anything about Juneteenth, man, you know what it means to me. I don't know exactly who all really engage in it, but I think it's something that we definitely need to come out and be a part of. It's a great event. I have an opportunity to go out and celebrate with the people that do come out to the community. I think we need to be more engaged and we're coming out to particularly invite this event to our community because I know how important it is also. And then the Let's Talk Eatonville, which is put on by PEC, which is Preserve Eatonville Community. That's taking place on the second Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to noon. So I encourage anybody that want to be a part of that to come out and kind of get your input on what you want to see in the community and what you want to see moving forward. And also, I just like to thank all the presentations that was presented tonight. I'm delighted to see so many people that are, just being involved in community services here in our town because I can remember far back, we didn't have that participation. So I'm eager to see what the future holds for the town of Eatonville, especially being the oldest black municipality in America. With 27 men that founded this town, they had a vision, and it's up to us to continue that vision and continue laying the foundation for the future of our kids. And the question has already been answered with the lawsuit, so that's already been established. So you don't have to worry about answering that, attorney. And also congratulations to us, the town, for receiving the $8.3 million through grants. And I would definitely like to take my hats off to Ms. Monday. I can't thank you enough. I'm always giving you your flowers, right? But I want to continue giving you your flowers because you've added so much aspiration and gratitude to this community, you know what I'm saying, just as a staff member, but you go above and beyond. You're the type of person that, anybody should, follow. And you have a great staff, you do a tremendous job at what you do, working in the public work department. I, you know, you make me speechless a lot of times whenever I think about the, scope of work that you do for this community, but not just you, every department. You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna name no names, but every staff member in this, capacity of town of Eatonville, because you guys make this thing run. You know what I'm saying? Because
It's a great team.
yeah, you guys got a great team, and I got a great appreciation for everything that you guys do on a daily basis. So, salute to every last one of you guys on doing what you do. And also, I would just like to add, man, I was looking at the police calling in this community, and it has went down tremendously, you know, and that just tell you how, significant things are going in the community as far as a safety perspective. You know, we got great officers. Officer Boone, you and Chief, and y'all other officers, you guys do a sensational job with keeping this community safe and at all times. And I got, a great appreciation for that, man. Thank you guys so much for all you do on a daily basis also. And, if all minds and hearts are clear, I would like to say goodnight and love you all. Thanks.
There is one more shout out that I was told. So first Saturday is the bike ride with Access Realty. However, they now have free bike rentals available. And that is because of the generosity of Drain Daddy. So we want to thank you. So those that have those flat tires, broken chains, you can rent a bike. With that being said, I move for adjournment.
Second.
If been moved and seconded, all in favor say aye. All opposed. All right, 8:44, we are adjourned.
It's messing with Washington, huh? Now, we're gonna get a clean up for you, you know?